All right, our next guest is Robert Turbin. What's up, my man? Welcome back.
What it do? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm in Hawaii.
Oh,
I'm hanging out. I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. I'm working, okay? Because business comes first. All right. But no, I'm good. How you fellas doing?
Well, how is it that Chris, just by wardrobe, it looks more like Chris is in Hawaii than you're in Hawaii?
Yeah, I gotta get my shirt game up here, man. You know that's one thing I'm slacking on right now.
All right, I'm going to ask Robert Turbin about Jonathan Taylor because when he came on our podcast a few months ago, I think we ranked Jonathan Taylor as a top 5 running back. He was like, "What? No way!" And I was, I'll get your thoughts on that. But Chris, where are you drafting Jonathan Taylor if you're drafting?
Oh, I misread this situation badly. I didn't think there was any way it was going to get this ugly. I thought the incentives were all aligned for them to just, we're upset at each other, but we'll figure it out. Like Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley and all the other situations. I've got him 75th overall, so I think that's right around RB 28 or something, and I have no idea. It's like my weakest conviction of all time. If you wanted to say that he's a top 60 pick because of the upside if he comes back, I think that's reasonable. If you wanted to say you're not taking him inside the top 100 because he's not going to play this year, I think that's also, I can see all sides of this one, and it's really frustrating because I love watching Jonathan Taylor play.
All right, Heath, let you get in there real quick. Where do you have Jonathan Taylor ranked? And then we'll get Robert Turbin's analysis on the situation.
I also misread this situation, but all I'm saying is, there were 4 of these guys, Barkley, Jacobs, Dobbins, and Taylor, and we kind of said the same thing on all of them. It will be okay. We were 75%. Like, that's a pretty good completion percentage. It's just that the problem is the L that we're taking on Jonathan Taylor when you draft him in round 2 hurts a lot more than those small gains that we got on Barkley and Jacobs and Dobbins. I think it's a round 7 pick. I took him around pick 78, I believe, in our most recent draft. The only consolation I'd offer, because I was talking to Chris Hassel just before our HQ hit today, and he was talking about how he drafted him just 2 days ago in round 3, and he's just feeling like his season's over. And I don't want people to think their season's over because it's a month and a half. It's possible that in the next 5 weeks, something happens to where Jonathan Taylor is going to play football for somebody and be happy about it. And if he does, missing 4 weeks will not keep him from delivering 3rd round value. He's one of the best running backs in football. If that thing happens and he comes back and plays this year, he could still win you your league.
All right, Turbo, if I can call you Turbo.
You can.
What's your thought on this whole situation?
Well, I just want to apologize first, okay? If I look off to my right here, okay, I'm in the middle of a draft, literally right now.
Nice, love it.
I would tell you, Jonathan Taylor is still on the board, and I believe we're in like round 4, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're drafting him late. And listen, I don't usually like to toot my own horn, all right? But I called this one straight away, okay? I knew that, eventually that these guys would get to this situation, Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. And to your point, yes, he might be able to play after week 4. But you have to take into consideration as well, he hasn't just missed he won't just miss the first 4 weeks of the season. He's missed all off season as well. Mm-hmm. And so we can't really expect Jonathan Taylor, just because he gets healthy after week 4, to be able to perform right at mid-season level, at the high level of a player that we've known him to be. And so for me, it's still veering away from Jonathan Taylor as much as possible. If you feel like you want to take a risk on him late, he's there, and you've got depth to do it, go ahead and take him. But for me, I'm staying away.
You played for the Colts. What are your impressions of Jim Irsay?
I never had any issues with Jim Irsay. He's passionate about the game of football. He's outspoken, and whether you like it or not, that's his personality. Some owners are more outspoken. Some of them aren't, but they have the freedom to be able to do what it is that they want. Initially, I didn't think Mr. Irsay was saying anything bad about Jonathan Taylor specifically, right? He only mentioned about how he felt about the overall running back situation, but Jonathan Taylor's agent responded. They felt like it was a target at them, and it wasn't. So I'm not really concerned with Mr. Irsay, because this is how he's been the entire time he's been the owner.
Well, who's on your fantasy team, by the way? What do you got so far?
You know what? Good question. I just drafted Aaron Rodgers, but where's my team? Here we go. I've got Eckler. Okay, I've got Sanders. Those are my RBs. I've got Waddle. I've got Samuel. Those are my wideouts. All right. I took a tight end just because, all the really good ones were getting taken. So I've gotten Njoku. I had to settle there, but I'm feeling pretty good. And I wouldn't got Aaron Rodgers because I think he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns this year. So, I got to get some depth. I got to get some depth on the roster, but I'm feeling pretty good right now.
All right, let's let the audience make a pick. Let's see where we are in our live draft here. We've got 3 receivers and 2 running backs. Oh, the audience made the pick? We didn't even do that. We didn't even do the poll. What happened here? Or did we ask people in the chat? Maybe I missed that. We're at the 5th pick. Well, can we back that out? I'm going to back that out as the commissioner here. And
that's a pretty good pick,
It's a very good pick. I don't even see the pick having been made in the draft room, so I don't know what that was. Okay, audience, you are on the clock. 3 wide receivers and 1 running back are off the board. And all right, let's do a poll here. Let's go Eckler.
Gotta go Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler, Bijan, Kupp, Kelsey. We good with those 4 options?
Oh, yeah.
I think those are good options, right? Eckler, Bijan, Kupp, Kelsey. Let's see what the audience decides. We will check back on that YouTube poll in just a bit. I don't want to hog all the questions here for Turbo. Heath, you want to jump in?
Well, yeah. I mean, this man told us what was going to happen in Indianapolis, so let's figure out what's going to happen in Seattle. We've got this 2 very talented running backs in Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet, and we've been kind of going back and forth on what roles these guys are going to play, and if there's going to be a true lead back or if it's going to be a committee. How do you see this?
Well, at first, my initial thought was Ken Walker was going to get majority of the carries, and Charbonnet was going to be more third down, situational, short yardage, pass protection, like that type of back, because he can do all of those things really well. But after seeing him in the preseason, there is no doubt about it that Zach Charbonnet is going to get a significant amount of carries. And so I think you'll see a true 1-2 duo between Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet, as opposed to, maybe Ken Walker getting the majority of the work in the backfield. I think they're going to split pretty evenly, especially because of the way Zach Charbonnet has performed in the preseason and the fact that Ken Walker really hasn't seen any action yet.
Well, I have to apologize. It took me, 25 minutes to screw something up royally. There was already a poll in YouTube with those 4 exact players, and they overwhelmingly have been voting for Austin Eckler. So I will go ahead and make that pick, as Austin Eckler is going to be the 5th pick in this draft, and Jamie Eisenberg will be on the board. Whoops. All right. What do you think about Bijan this year? You're going to take Eckler over Bijan there. What is he going to just destroy the league as a rookie?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bijan's going to be a nice player, especially because he's going to be the vocal point of the offense. And so even if for whatever reason, you think Bijan Robinson isn't all that great coming out of the draft, because you can think that. The fact of the matter is he's going to get every opportunity to be successful with the Falcons. He's going to be their number 1 target. So he's going to be great for you in fantasy. I draft him high.
You have experience coming off a torn ACL. What do you think about Hall and Javonte this year?
You know what? I think Breece is going to be great now that he's got Dalvin Cook there to back him up. And so I think he'll be fine. And who was the other player? Javonte
Williams, Denver.
Yeah, and Javonte, same. I feel the same about him. Now, Samaje Perine obviously isn't the type of back that Dalvin Cook is. Like Dalvin Cook comes in, he takes weight off of your shoulder. I don't think Samaje Perine necessarily does that for Javonte Williams, but he played a significant role in Cincinnati. And I think he'll play a significant role in Denver for Javonte Williams specifically. So I think, I think you're still getting good value there. I would probably lean towards Breece Hall more than I would Javonte Williams, even though Javonte Williams is probably going to get more opportunities.
One thing I wanted to ask you, you mentioned like Jonathan Taylor coming back week 5, being expected, even if he comes back and being expected to just hit the ground running. How much harder is it when you're talking about like everybody going through training camp, everybody going through off season, everybody going through practice to lead up to week 1, having to hit the ground running when everybody's already caught up? Is it a drastic difference when you're talking about, like, you know, your Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley's coming back later, but also Jonathan Taylor doing it midseason? How much more difficult is that?
Well, it's difficult, especially depending on the position, because, you know, obviously as a runner, there's a multitude of things that you have to do as far as your job, not just running the football, pass protection, and everything else. Normally, when you come into a new offseason, like or training camp, like, even though you might be in the same system, same offensive coordinator, there's always adjustments every year. There's new terminology that's installed, right? There's new schemes that are installed. And so you're just behind the 8 ball on those things because you haven't been able to rep them. And then when you think about the physical capacity, you know, of training camp, right? Like, yeah, we can get out there and we'll have fresh legs, but at the end of the game, everybody is sore. But when you haven't been in it, that soreness is a little different, right? It's elevated in some ways because, just, you know, you haven't had the sharp cuts, you haven't had the you know, the tight turns and the pass protection throughout this entire time, and so it's going to make an impact on you. It's going to have an impact on you when you get out there to play. So, you know, these guys like Josh, he'd probably have it wouldn't surprise me if week 1 he just exploded, but, you know, he's probably likely to slow down the next 2, 3, or 4 games, and it probably won't be until halfway through the season where we start to see him play like the Josh Jacobs we saw last year.
Interesting. I was recalling something you said to me. I asked you if Russell Wilson was washed up, your former teammate.
You're right.
I think you said, hell no. I was a little worried with the preseason performance. I wish we had gotten to see them play a 3rd game because, you know, you figure it will take a little time to get adjusted to the new system. But yeah, you still feel conviction? Hell no, he's not washed up.
I'm very convicted about that. And you know, listen, I know in that second preseason game, he was expected to play a lot longer. Even Coach Sean Payton mentioned before the game that, you know, he's probably going to play through the first half of the game, end up only playing a series. But let me tell you something, you know, we're looking at the stats. I think he was 3 for 6. He didn't do anything spectacular, but the subtle things that he did do were clear displays that Russell Wilson is going to be fine. Boom, getting out of the pocket, using his feet, get a first down, getting outside the pocket, throwing an accurate ball, like just the small, subtle things, making quick decisions, right, in the pocket. That's all Sean Payton needs to see. And for me, knowing Russ the way that I do, that's all I need to see too. And then not even to play him in week 3,
right?
To tell you that they're not worried about anything. He's going to be fine.
All right, Chris. I want to ask you at some point about your Jerry Jeudy ranking. It's pretty high, and I like it. It's pretty aggressive. We'll talk about that in a little bit. In about 10 minutes, we're going to play, and not even 7 minutes, we're going to play the feud with the Front Yard Fantasy guys, with Joey, JL, and Simon. So that's coming up. Dave and hopefully Jamie are going to be on for that. We have a little bit of time left with Robert, but we want you to donate. Everybody, please donate to St. Jude. It's an amazing cause, obviously, amazing organization that helps pediatric cancer patients and their families. Who wouldn't want to donate to that? If you donate, do we come up with a dollar amount for this? How much for us to grade your draft? Someone just let me know. We will grade your draft, though, if you make a donation. And keep firing away in the chat. We'll try to answer some questions throughout the show. Dan Schneier is going to be answering questions in the chat as well. Love the audience we have right now. As you may or may not know, Turbo has pretty big arms. He still got them. He's still, yeah.
I'm retired now.
Okay. Well, we want to play a game. Who has bigger arms? I guess you in your prime. Are you kidding me? How are you a running back with those arms?
Oh, wow.
I you know what I mean? I had good, I could still get loose. You know?
I feel like you would have fumbled on those, like the bouncing off the bicep. I don't know.
The ball hides behind the biceps.
It made it more secure. It was more secure.
All right. So who has bigger arms? Prime Robert Turbin or Heath plus Chris?
I gotta see.
I'm gonna say Turbin. I mean, I don't got much going on there.
Yeah,
let's see it, Heath. Let's see it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can probably get it up there at some point, but there's not.
Oh yeah, that's
I like the belief in Heath right there.
Yeah, I mean,
don't try me, okay?
I'm more of a definition kind of guy than a bulk guy. I'm working more on low weight, high reps, just trying to age gracefully.
Yeah, definitely
that's
the
what I'm
same.
on now too. Lean machine, baby.
All right, who's got bigger arms, prime Robert Turbin or J.J. Watt?
Oh, I mean, JJ was 260 pounds.
Yes. I think Turbin, though.
Yep. Turbin.
Turbo.
I'm going to say yeah.
Ooh.
How about
you can say yourself. You can say yourself.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
He's humble. Why you keep showing me? I'm not competing against him right now. How about DK Metcalf? We have a DK Metcalf arm picture.
See if we can. I can't give it to DK.
No. I've got to ask a question though. Like, is this whole thing about DK's diet for real? Like, he really? I'm trying to raise a high school athlete and trying to tell him to eat right. And I see DK Metcalf's body, and then the guy says that he just eats candy all day long.
Man, listen, man. I have no idea. But I wouldn't put it past him. And DK to me is not the type of person just to say something, just to say it. Like if he's eating Skittles or whatever it is, then I believe him. But I will say, and I would tell him this too, as his homie. All right, shit, it's not gonna last forever, bro. Okay, I can't wait for the day we hear about DK changing his diet. All right, as he starts to age in this league. Okay, it's coming. Watch, mark my words. It happens to us all.
So, what about speaking of Skittles? What was the real, lowdown on Marshawn Lynch and the Skittles? How much are we talking here?
Yo, he would eat Skittles on the sideline, at practice. He'd keep them in his pocket. Like the Skittles thing.
It's the most relatable professional athlete thing I can think of.
It was a real thing, man. And that, I don't know what it did. I don't know if it got him in the zone, if it turned him into beast mode, like if invisible, beast mode hero, uniform just appeared on him every time he ate a Skittle. I don't know, but that his love or infatuation for the candy was pretty real.
That's cool, man. I'm just so curious why we keep going to the one shot of me. I don't have big arms at all. All right, last one here. What do you think about Arnold?
Oh! See, I don't got that. Hey, that was different.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a beast right there. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I gotta pay homage. But I would say he was part of the motivation.
Was he?
Oh yeah. What?
Oh, nice. Nice. What's your favorite Arnold movie?
I might have to go with the Terminator, man.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah, T2. Yeah.
Oh, T2 is the freaking best. Absolutely. Yeah.
But he's in a lot of great films.
Yeah, he has. Chris, you probably watched the Arnold documentary, right?
I have not seen that one, no.
Oh, no, you strike me as seeing most things on Netflix guy. Like looking in a mirror. Unbelievable. All right, sure.
That's funny.
They're messing with me. They're messing with me here. Turbo, thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate it.
Anytime, fellas. Anytime. It's just fun.
Aloha.
Aloha. All right. See you later.